Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and today let's go ahead and get through this thing. All right, this is Sex in the City. Sorry, and Just Like Crap. God, I'm sorry these videos took so long, but damn it, there's just there's only so much time in the day to get these things done. Okay, and I got a lot to say here. I took a lot of notes, and I watched it a couple of times, and I've also been listening to other YouTubers talk about it, and stuff, and then they know their stuff. For those of you who don't know, I'm Diego, and the Sex and the City is not really my thing. Okay, it's like chick stuff is not really what I do. When I started this channel, I wanted to talk about like the stuff that I liked. Which is I like martial arts movies. I like Sylvester Stallone movies. I like superhero movies like Avengers, Black Panther, Spider Man. All that stuff is the stuff that I really love. you know, Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, that kind of stuff is the stuff that really gets me going. It's the stuff I grew up with. It's the stuff I love. Star Wars, even. So this is stuff that really interests me. This is something these are things that I really enjoy. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy talking about it. I'll talk to anybody about it. That's the stuff that I love. This is stuff that I loved when I was a child, and now that I'm adult. As an adult, they started making all these big budget movies on this stuff. They didn't have this stuff when I was a kid. But now they do. So I started I started talking to people about it, and bring back those memories, those good memories of being a kid, those fun times, And that's how I looked at it. Sex and the City is the exception to the rule, believe it or not. I've seen chick flicks. I've been on dates with girls. I've seen chick flicks. I've seen stuff. And most of the time it's okay. It's nothing good. There's very few really really good chick flicks that I've ever seen. But there are some out there, and I'll do reviews on those. But no, Sex and the City. For me, I watched the show because, well, honestly, I wanted to get laid, okay? That's the truth. I wanted to get laid. I wanted to learn what was going on. I was in the Marines for 4 years active duty. I was stationed in North Carolina, so I was cut away from the civilian population for the most part. Once I got out, and I went reserves, I was still in the Marine Corps, but now I got to live in society. I went back to Chicago, and I started interacting with civilians now instead of just military people all the time. And this was a show that all the hot girls were watching. This is a show they were all talking about it, And so I wanted to fit into that conversation. Started watching the show, and lo and behold, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I think it was fake in a lot of ways, and I am reviewing the old episodes, okay, to point that stuff out. Like I said, I want to give you a straight man's point of view. And but I still find it enjoyable. I like the characters, I like the way they were written, So I watched every single episode, and I watched both movies, and I started watching this piece of shit. And finally, it's over now, and finally, this is the last video I'm going to do on it. Thank God. I've listened to a lot of videos on it. I'm sorry it took so long, but there was a lot to say because not only do I have to recap the episode, but I have to recap the whole season as well. How does the ending? How does that relate to everything else that already happened in the past 9 episodes? Okay, so. Almost done here. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, now when we left off yesterday, when we left off, with my last video, part 3, we were talking about the day mitzvah, and it ended up being Charlotte. Okay, I already went on my speech about how they're bad. Her and Harry are bad parents, and they are. They're terrible parents, horrible parents. Okay, they're raising a spoiled brat, and so now we move along to near the end here. Okay, so Carrie decides to go to Paris alone, and Charlotte's not really upset about it. She's just like, okay, well, she looks at Miranda and goes, you owe me a trip to Paris. And she walks away because she just got day mitzvah, so it's like her day. It was supposed to be her daughter's day, but now it's her day, Okay, so there's that. We got subjected to that. Carrie decides to go by herself to Paris. Now, why she doesn't invite her Big's family, remember, his brother's still alive. Big's brother's still alive, okay? He's old, but he's still alive, I guess he doesn't go. Or nobody from Big's family goes, which just because it's just some commentary on the show, okay? The show was never about the guys, okay? Even Sex and the City was never about the guys on the show, okay? It was always about the women. Okay, the women took front and center, okay? Don't worry about the guys, okay? The guys show up when they're needed, and then they're not there when we don't need them. They're just gone. They just disappear like magic. They don't show up when they need a dick. And when they don't, they're gone. Okay? Yeah, it's sexist when men do it, right? But when women do it, no, it's progressive. Okay, so so that happens, and let's see here. Miranda decides to go back to being a redhead. So much damage has been done to that character. that, you know, like changing her hair back the way it was is not going to help. It's too little, too late. Nobody gives a crap. She might as well stay looking like the ghost from Ghostbusters because she's, you know, she's dead. She's dead to me. You know, she is. They cannot redeem this woman. The stuff that she did, I mean, what she put Steve through, much less her son. You know, now here's a weird thing about this show. One of the pet peeves I have with the show, and you'll notice it happens in every episode. Whenever somebody gets fucked over, whenever you're concerned about a certain character, whenever they develop just enough of a character to make you interested in them, to be okay, well, I want to see how this plays out. You don't see that character again. Okay? And the way the writers for this show are doing it is if you don't see it, it didn't happen. You're not supposed to think about it. Okay? The fact that this character no longer has screen time means that you don't need to know what happens. It's not important to you. Okay? They don't consider it unresolved. It was already unresolved the last time you saw it. Okay? That resolved it. Okay? The fact that you still care, okay, and that you're not going to see this character again means that it's not important. So if it's not important to the writers, it should not be important to the viewer. Well, I call bullshit on that. Okay, it is important to us. Okay, I want to know what the fuck happened to Steve. Okay, because the last time I saw him, he was like, "It ain't never coming off." Oh, you know, that's the last time I saw Steve. I don't want that to be the last time we see him. Okay, I want to know what the fuck's gonna happen to him. How's he taking this? You know, we don't get it. We get nothing. Steve doesn't show up in this episode. All we know is Miranda's happy. She's going to L.A. You know, to be with Shay. You know, and that all that shit about helping underprivileged people. You know, about helping people that can't afford attorneys. You know, all that shit. Oh, fuck that. She threw that out the window. That really tough internship spot that Naya tried really hard to get her in. You know, fuck all that. It's not important. Helping less privileged people is not important. Okay, being anti-racist is not important. What's important is Shay. That's what's important. The finger of love. The finger will point the way. Always has. You know, just thinking about that makes me sick. Okay, so yeah, that's not gonna work for me. Especially when we've seen so much of their relationship. If you were a fan of the original show, you've seen all the shit that Steve and Miranda went through together, all the shit she put him through. He always took her back, So I mean, the whole character arc with Miranda in the original show was that she went from being a depressed, asshole to learning empathy. She learned how to stop being so selfish. How the world isn't just about her and what she wants. She had a big problem with that. She's complained that everybody, that because she's a woman, she was disadvantaged and men are all assholes and shit. And as the series progressed, you realized that actually she was the cause of a lot of her own problems, and that she needed to start learning how to think about other people instead of just thinking about herself. Okay. Well, all that's been reversed now. Okay. Because I remember when she learned that lesson. When she learned that lesson was when she took in Brady's mom. Remember she had Alzheimer's, dementia, and remember her Polish. I guess her Polish nanny or her Polish housekeeper told her that was the most unselfish thing she'd ever seen her do. And it was telling us that Miranda was growing as a person. That she was getting more wise, getting more mature. Quit thinking about herself so much, start thinking about other people and how other people depend on her, and it's not always about her. That was a good character arc for her on the show. Okay, that's all been undone now. None of that fucking matters. Miranda is just fucking what she wants. And fuck everybody else. And if you don't like it, you're the problem. And what really sucks is she's basically holding her friends hostage. She really is. Her family too. Like, if they don't agree with her, she's going to cancel them. If Carrie says anything against what she's doing, tries to talk her out of it, she will cancel Carrie. She will cancel everybody. She's already canceled Steve. And Steve didn't do anything wrong. But I guarantee you now. Then, like I said, the writers aren't going to go there. Okay, Brady. We see Brady talking to his mother. Brady never says anything about Mom. You broke Dad's heart. He's crying to me about it. Mom, you ruined our family. Like, what the fuck are we going to do now? Because I'm still a minor. Who am I going to live with? Where's Dad going to go? Where are you going to go? Mom, I'm really upset how you hurt Dad. And how you kept this relationship with that girl that you yelled at me for because she gave me marijuana, and that how you're leaving Dad for her, that really bothers me, Mom. Like, how could you do that to me? I thought I thought it was your son. I thought you would tell me everything. I thought we were close. None of that shit happens. You know why? Because the writers don't want you to ask those questions. Like I said, if they don't show it, then it doesn't matter. Okay, They don't want you to ask them. They want you to pretend that none of that shit is important and that none of this shit is going on in their minds or our minds. Okay? So instead, what you're going to get is you're going to have Brady say something about, oh yeah, was it Gray Lives Matter? You know, what happened to that? Okay? You know, instead of asking that, how about like fucking mom? Like, what are you going to do about dad? Okay? What am I going to do about dad? You know, what about our fucking family? Where are you going to go? What's going to happen to dad? What's going to happen to me? Is Luisa still going to come over here? Am I still going to be able to impregnate my underage girlfriend? You know, who's in charge? Do I ask dad or ask you? Well, you know, nothing. They just don't bring it up. You know, that's how it works in the show. They just don't bring it up. So, yeah, so I guess they go to the airport and that's that. You know, Brady was there. He was there, but he wasn't there. Like, he was just there for the background, but he did not affect the show at all. The fact that this guy is the direct child of two of the main characters on the show, and they did nothing with him. You know, this is a character that you could have gotten like millennials and Zoomers to get interested in the show if you'd written a really good character. If you'd written Brady as a really cool character, I mean, he's got great DNA. I mean, with Miranda's fucking, you know, narcissistic, you know, depression, and Steve's, you know, quirky optimism, you know. I mean, they could have written a good character here. He could have been a mixture of both of them, you know. And we could have seen that, and we could have rooted for him. This was gold right here. You've got a character that's already set up. You just got to write him. But they didn't want to do anything interesting with him because they don't want to do anything interesting with the straight white guys. Okay, no, it's not about. It's about the LGBTQ. It's about the shays. Okay, it's about the it's about the trans rabbis. Okay, it's about the pride. You know, it's about the tokens. You know, you got to get the Asian in there and the black person. Don't do anything with them, but they got to be there just so you can say they're there. I mean, that's what it's about. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, you got a perfect character here. You could have done something with. You did nothing with him. They did nothing with Brady. God. All right. So, okay. So I know Carrie wears some sort of weird dress. You know, some Poupador, you know, Belle from Beauty and the Beast dress in Paris. She brings Big's ashes to Paris, and we hear the Todd Rundgren song again. You know, hello, it's me. I thought about you for a long, long time. What I don't understand is how come they're using that song so much, but yet they didn't use Moon River from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Because you got to remember that's the song that Big gave his big long fucking commentary. I think it was in season 5, you know, where Big just did this commentary how great that song was and how it hits that perfect note and how he loved that song so much, Moon River. You know, and we didn't use it. So we got, you know, Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren, which, don't get me wrong, I love that song too. I mean, this is the kind of shit that my mom would play on the car, you know, when I was in the back seat, you know, when she was driving us around when I was a little kid, you know. My mom listened to soft rock, okay, so I heard all that shit. Daryl Hall and John Oates, you know, Gino Vanelli. Yeah, you younger people don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, okay? You know. You know, Engelbert Humperdinck, well, that was before, Engelbert Humperdinck, that was before my time. You know, just stuff like that. You know, old school shit. They say, kids, you Zoomers that are out there, okay, look that shit up, okay? Classic rock from like the mid 70s, okay? It's a lot of crazy songs. You'll never hear songs like that again, okay? Like Chris Christopherson and just, you know, just crazy shit, you know, like. I think even David Soul from Starsky and Hutch, he had a hit song, you know. I mean, the crooners back then were just weird. You know, but yeah, Todd Rundgren fell into that category, you know, just singing about love. Peter Frampton, you know. So yeah, you know, so listening to that, you know, it's like, okay, well, I think Moon River would have been a better song, but I know it's a feminine song, and he's obviously not feminine. Okay, but the fact that in the original show he really loved that song a lot. I think they probably should have used it, but you know, maybe they couldn't get the rights because that song is so associated with Breakfast at Tiffany's that maybe that's why, I don't know. So they played it again, and so we have to think about Big again, you know. She texts Samantha, and Samantha answers, and she says, hey, I'm in Europe, you know, and you're in Europe, you know, can we talk? And she says, soon. And she's like, well, how about, you know, can we meet for coffee or something, you know? And she says, okay, we can meet tomorrow, okay? So now Carrie's like, oh my God, I'm going to see Samantha, okay? But we both know goddamn well that ain't going to happen, okay? Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker are not on speaking terms. Okay, they purposely left Kim Cattrall out of this reboot. Good for her. She's not associated with this shit. You know, so she's not going to be in there. They're not going to use her. This is just a ploy to get you to watch the next season if they get one. Oh, we're going to see Samantha. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Okay, what's going to happen? You're going to see Carrie walking out of her hotel in Europe in the daytime, and she's going to be like, Samantha, there you are. Wait, no. Ah! Ah! Fast forward to, 1 week later. Samantha died. She got hit by a car. That's what's gonna fucking happen. All right. It's no, man. That's what's if they do that, that's what's gonna happen. Okay. Kim Cattrall won't be caught dead in this fucking show. Good for her. She does not need her reputation tarnished. Okay. I know she turned down a fucking payday, but you know what? If she respected the character, which I think she does respect the character, Samantha, there's things that are higher than money. So no. Thank God she left this shit alone. I would rather, you know what I want to see? I want to see a show about Samantha over there in London, have an American in her 60s, a boss bitch going around screwing all the interns, see what happens to her. That'd be a good idea. Hey, if anybody does that show, man, it was my idea first. I pitched it, okay? We can call it Samantha in the City, or I don't know, the Union Jack, or I fucking know. But it's my idea. I copyrighted it right now. Okay, this thing is time-stamped, okay? It was my idea. I did it first. That was my idea. Okay, Kim Cattrall, you owe me some money, all right? Especially for that piece of shit sex book you wrote with your husband back in the early 2000s that I bought and read. And then you and your husband divorced right after that. Okay, never mind. You women, you older women, okay, my age, you know what I'm talking. You know what book I'm talking about. Okay. She was hot shit in 2002. Okay, moving right along. Okay. So Carrie goes back to work, and she does her podcast. So this is Carrie Bradshaw, and I'll Get Better, and this has been Sex in the City. Okay, no, it hasn't. It hasn't been Sex in the City. This has been an abortion. Okay, it's been an abortion. That's what it's been. Okay. And not even talking like in a sterilized clinic. I'm talking like fucking backdoor alley wire hanger abortion. Okay, that's what the show's been. All right. But the good news is that Franklin, remember him? Yeah, I didn't either, because this is the first episode where they actually gave him a name. He's the producer guy that's been standing in the background, in the corner, not doing anything. Behind the glass wall there, and well, he goes up to her. Obviously he succeeded in convincing her to do a podcast with her because Shay quit. So he asked her, hey, we really like the way the listeners, they love the way you answer the questions on the show. Let's do a podcast with you, whatever. So now she's the boss, and he's her producer. He's back there producing the show, and she she says something like, everything I felt left, or everything I felt lost, whenever I felt lost, okay, there you were looking back at me. She said that to him in the elevator. And he's just like, and they start making out, okay? Now, I'll give you a point for this, okay? This is the way people make out in real life, okay? Not the shit that fucking Peter was doing earlier in the episode, like, I really want to kiss you right now. Would that be okay? No, that's not how fucking people make out, okay? Usually it's spontaneous. There's chemistry there. This guy's been flirting with her. He's been dropping subtle things about how great she is and how wonderful the listeners really respond to you. You have a way of touching them, that makes them feel, oh, so good. I was watching you out there, and every time you looked at me, I knew that everything it's going to be fine. Just. See, that's how you do it, okay? Oh, I really want to kiss you right now. Oh, would that be okay? No, none of that shit. Hey, who the fuck is this guy? We don't know. He wasn't developed. There's no background on him. I don't even think it's a fucking last name. I think you gotta look at the credits to find out what his fucking last name is. I mean, he didn't interact with anybody. I mean, he didn't do shit. There was no build up, you know? He could have been, this could have been a character that they were using on the show as a potential love interest, but they were building up Peter. And then when Peter gets deflated, here, this guy out of left field, a plot twist, it ends up being the producer that she goes with. That could have been a good overarch story for Carrie, you know? Who do I get with, Peter or Franklin, you know? That could have been something. They did nothing with it. You know why? Because that's a heterosexual love triangle. That's why. And we can't have that. How are we going to fit that in between the fucking, the gay stand-up comedy, the gay rallies, you know, the gay bars, you know, the transvestite, you know, rabbis. Like, how are we going to fit that in there? We can't, you know? So, no, sorry. Can't do it. You know, got to make room for the important stuff. You know, yeah, I mean, we don't know anything about this guy, but I guess he's the potential love interest. And, you know, I'm sure we'll see him in season 2 if it gets greenlit. But really, I don't care. I mean, I don't know anything about this guy, so I can't really tell you whether I like him or not. You know, it's kind of like Big in the first like couple of episodes of the original show. I saw him there, he's there, but I didn't really know enough about him to tell you whether I liked him or not. It wasn't until later on, I'd probably think like episode 10 or episode 11 of the original show before I got to understand who Big was. Like, okay, now I kind of get this guy. Now I understand how he thinks and what he's doing. You know, man, we haven't gotten there yet, so I don't really give a shit about this guy. We haven't gotten there with any of the characters, honestly, except for maybe, you know, fucking Rocky, you know, Rose, Miss Sideburns. You know, we know that she thinks she's privileged. She thinks she's better than everybody else. She doesn't have to go by the rules that anybody else has to. And her parents agree with her. You know, so yeah, there's that. But otherwise, you know, no, there's really no development on these characters. We got way too much of fucking Shay. I mean, Shay was over here preaching morality about how she's not a homewrecker. She doesn't lie. She doesn't pretend to be something she's not. Because the whole time she's fucking a married woman. She knows this woman is married, okay, but she just assumes that the girl she's sleeping with is in an open relationship. She never fucking asked the question. Like, no, how the fuck do you be moral and say that fucking, you know, that, and never ask that question. Never want to know if the husband is okay with it too. You never even fucking met the husband. How do you know it's okay? You know, it's not like fucking one of those Tinder things, you know, where we're looking, you know, we're in a polyamorous relationship, open relationship, we're looking for a third. None of that shit, okay? She just assumed. She never even met Steve. So what the fuck, you know? And then she's preaching morality. Okay, she's going to be the one that stands on a soapbox and tells all of us viewers what's right and wrong? Her? Really? While she's doing this? And we're supposed to take her seriously? Yeah, that's what the writers want us to do. They want us to take her seriously. She's the moral center of the show. You know, she's the one with her shit together. Get the fuck out of here. She even looked like she got her shit together. Oh my God. Okay. So now that we've gone through all of that's actually how the season ended. You know, we had a lot of wasted time during this season, okay? So many stories that never got resolved, like I just said. What happened to Miranda's drinking problem, okay? Okay, I know a lot about alcoholism, okay? It's touched my family, it's touched people close to me, okay? I know a lot about the 12-step program. I mean, me personally, I have not had alcohol in over 7 years, okay? So I don't drink, I don't do drugs, okay? I understand people that do that are addicted to it, that have a problem with it, okay? There are consequences to that. These people need help. Okay, I understand that. You know, nobody ever cured their own alcoholism by reading a book for feminists about how to quit alcoholism the feminist way. And then it just becomes a non-issue now. Okay, she doesn't even have to, Miranda has no consequences for any of the stuff that she does. Okay, so she didn't have to answer for it when she was drunk, she didn't answer for it when she's sober. You know, there's no consequence. She can get away with anything because nobody's going to hold her accountable to anything that she did. Like I said, Brady doesn't give a shit. Steve's going to back away and crawl into a corner and cry until Miranda comes back. But that's okay because Miranda's not going to be there when he's crying, so she doesn't have to see it. So she doesn't give a fuck. Okay? Her friends are going to accept her no matter what. They're going to root her on for Shay. Even if they don't like it, they already know goddamn well that Miranda's going to cancel them if they go against her. So they're just going to, you know, just indulge her in whatever she does. You know? Because that's more important. You know? Same thing with, you know, Miranda's best friend, her college professor, who does no professoring, you know, who just writes, you know, glowing, you know, letters of recommendation for stupid ass fucking lazy bitches. Why does she do that? Because that's her drinking buddy. because that's the girl that she talks to. You know, if you want to get a good recommendation from your professor, okay, just bond with your professor and ask her questions about how she can't have a fucking kid. And her husband's going to fucking leave her because she can't get fucking pregnant, okay? Drink about that together while she's on her, on her pregnancy drugs, and you do that, and boom, she'll write you a letter of resignation about how fucking great you are, Yeah, she comes from a great family. Her husband and her son, they think she's the best mom in the world, That's how you do it. That's what we learned here, okay? So there's no consequence for what she does. She doesn't have to answer for anything. She has no obstacles. The only consequence, the only sort of pushback that Miranda had was whether or not Shay liked her or not, whether or not Shay felt the same way about her. That's it. That's the only thing. Nothing else mattered to her. There was no pushback, okay? Everyone else folded. Her son, no pushback. Her friends, they folded immediately. Charlotte gave her a little bit of shit and then she folded. Carrie tried to give her some shit and then she backed away. Naya didn't give a fuck. Nobody held Miranda accountable for what she was doing. Nobody. She's got to do it and walk off into the sunset. She's in her fucking rom-com. So what did we learn from that? We learned that just like Cynthia Nixon in real life, just like Samantha Irby in real life, you try out guys, but guys don't really like you, so you go on to women because they'll take you and they're better, right? They're better because they'll take you and guys won't. Okay, that's more like the truth. Okay, but you ain't gonna show that here. No. The lesbians are perfect. Okay, think about it. The lesbians are perfect. Nothing wrong with them. It's the straight guys that are fucked up. It's the straight people that are fucked up. Okay. The issue with Rose, it's unresolved. She's still, my name, I'm not going to fucking say it, okay? So that's unresolved. She's still a spoiled brat. She still do whatever she wants. She already proved that you spend 100 grand on a fucking bat mitzvah or a day mitzvah, okay, with all these people there. There's dozens of people there. I can only imagine how expensive it was just to get that venue. And then you get the rabbi, and then you get all the party favors, the catering, the fucking rainbow yarmulkes. All that shit must have cost a lot of money. Okay, Rose already proved that it doesn't fucking matter. All she has to do is say, no, I ain't gonna do it, and everybody will cave in. So there's money out the door, wasted. She's got that power now. She's already demonstrated it. You think she's gonna give it up? Fuck no, she ain't. She's 13. She's gonna go with it. Great parenting, right? Okay, Steve's issue's unresolved. Last time we saw Steve, he was crying in the corner. Oh, it ain't never coming off. Okay, what about Steve? I care about Steve. What's going to happen to him? I don't know. Don't know. You know why? Because they didn't show us. You know why they didn't show us? Because the writers don't give a fuck what happens to Steve. He's not important. The fact that his life has been destroyed by what his wife did to him doesn't matter. It's not important. So they're not going to spend any time with it. What's really important is that fucking Miranda and Shay go off into the sunset together. That's the important thing. Because that's the LGBTQ relationship. That's what we got to focus on. That's the good thing of the show. Not the aftermath, not the damage that has been done. All right. Yeah, I guess there's no drama in that. The real drama is whether or not Shay will still like Miranda tomorrow. That's the real drama that we all need to know about. Okay. Yeah, I already mentioned Brady. No one gives a fuck about him. What he thinks about it, he doesn't even go fuck because he doesn't even ask his mom about, what are you doing, Mom? Why are you doing this to Dad? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you breaking up the family? No, he didn't say shit. And this is a woman that and his mother yelled at him because this is the same woman that he got weed from at Big's funeral. Yeah. Okay. What else we got here? What about Lisa's character arc? Lisa, do you remember her? No, you don't? Okay, Lisa was the black girl that was friends with Charlotte, okay? Remember they had kids in the same school? Remember her? She's part of the PTA or whatever the parents thing that Charlotte was the head of. Okay, remember her? Remember her husband? They played tennis against him. What about her? She was introduced. Beautiful woman, by the way. Beautiful woman. She got introduced. She showed up. Nothing happened with her. What have we learned about her that concluded her arc? What arc did she have? She showed up, and then we just didn't see her again. Oh, she dressed nice. Her clothes looked pretty expensive. She's obviously rich. She didn't want to be that couple in front of Harry and Charlotte. Her and her husband, Bernard, I think his name was. What have we learned about her? Did she ever really have a seat at the table? No. In fact, when she showed up in the first episode, the other girls left. It was just her and Charlotte. So no, she was never included with them. She wasn't offered a seat at the table. She wasn't the fourth girl. They made very clear that she's not the fourth girl. She's a friend of Charlotte's. And she did really nothing other than just have someone for Charlotte to talk to when Anthony ain't around. And the other two girls aren't around. That's it. That's her purpose. What a waste of a beautiful actress. They didn't even give her a story arc. They gave her nothing. No drama, no problems, no nothing. She didn't have any problems. In fact, she was there to fix the problems. Okay? Remember when they had no food to paint the women's shelter? Oh, she made a phone call. Boom! All the gut trucks showed up. That's her whole purpose. You know? She's there to fix problems. She's there to explain to Charlotte that everyone already fucking knew that their daughter was going by a man's name. Okay? And Charlotte didn't know. She was the one that, hey, let me tell her. You know? That's it. That's her purpose. She had no purpose on the show. What a waste of a beautiful woman. A legitimately beautiful woman. Like, I don't know the actress's name. She's gorgeous. Okay? The girl that plays Lisa. They call her LTW. I know Megan Fox calls her LTW. But you know, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. Did nothing with her. Did nothing with her. I would have rather have seen Miranda get with her than with that thing from Bedrock. That place right out of history. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, they did nothing with her. What about Lisette? Remember her? She was Carrie's neighbor. Remember the model turned jewelry designer? Remember her? Remember she argued with her boyfriend? Remember we got to see his junk? We got to see his cock? We learned more about him through that scene than we have about her. What did we learn about her? Nothing. She's a jewelry designer. Lives in New York. Used to be a model. She looks better with no clothes on because when she puts on clothes, she has that see-through potato sack that she wore, that one scene. I thought Carrie dressed bad. Well, Carrie does dress bad. I mean, she's got the dishwashing gloves on and shit. But you know, this girl, like, what the fuck? Is this supposed to be like a Carrie 2.0? You know, a new improved version of Carrie? Because I don't think so. This girl, like, well, frankly, she's too pretty. She's too pretty to really have had to deal with the problems that Carrie had to deal with, you know? You know, they didn't do anything with her. You know, they could have written something for her. Maybe Carrie could have been like her mentor. Maybe that could have happened, you know? She said she was already a fan of her Sex and the City column. She read the books that Carrie wrote, you know? Maybe she wanted to be a writer herself. Maybe Carrie could have mentored her, you know? Maybe give her advice on her relationship. Okay? Maybe she could have helped her. She could have helped Carrie, you know, have a relationship with someone that wasn't one of her older friends. You know? That could have been something to do, you know? Have like a sidekick type relationship, you know? That could have been something. That could have been a story arc. That could have given Carrie something to do instead of just fucking telling everyone every day that she's a fucking widow and that Big died. You know, and instead of regressing back in time like she was trying to do, go back to her old apartment, relive all of her old memories, she could have like, okay, well, here's a person that needs me. Oh my God, I found someone who needs me. I can do something here. I can help somebody. You know I was her 22 years ago. I can help her. You know, no, they did nothing with it. Nothing. What a waste of an attractive girl. My God. What a waste. Here you had a pretty girl and you did nothing with her. Nothing. And she lived in Carrie's building. She could have showed up. She would have had an excuse to be in every single episode. Nothing. Nothing. Like I said, we saw her boyfriend's cock. We know more about his cock than we do about her. That's pretty good writing, huh? Okay. All right. Well, that about does it. Okay, this show's a piece of shit. It's an abortion. I hated it, obviously. If season 2 comes out, I will watch it. But I want to end this video right now. I just want to say thanks to everybody for all the positive comments. I read most of them, or if not all of them, you know. And I had no idea that you guys would like this stuff. Like I said, I'm into superhero movies. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to talk about. But I did have a vice of Sex and the City, so I figured I would give you a straight man's point of view, you know, because I did legitimately love the show. I did care about these characters, you know, and I didn't always agree with them. You know, I definitely did not agree with the way that straight men were portrayed on the show, but I cared about the show. Okay, like I said, I watched every single episode. You know, so I knew what I'm talking about. Just like you women out there that love the show, I loved it too. Okay, so just for me to give you like a straight man's point of view, I think my voice, my type of voice, was the kind that wasn't on the show because most straight guys didn't watch the show. They didn't watch the original show. Just like most straight guys are not watching this show either. Okay, they don't know who these characters are. You know, but I know who they are. We know who these characters are, okay? And I always felt that the straight guy was always, his voice was never really being heard A couple of times they were being heard, but for the most part they weren't, because the show was written by gay guys and by lesbians and by angry women. Okay, so our voice, the straight guy's voice, wasn't really a big factor in producing the show. Okay, so I wanted to be the guy that tells you, no, okay, no, a straight guy would not do that. A straight guy would do that. They got that right. They got that wrong. You know, because nobody else was doing it. Nobody else was doing it because nobody cared. And like I said, the straight guys weren't exactly the target audience for these shows. Okay, but I was a straight guy and I liked the show. So yeah, so I thought I'd talk about it. You know, and the feedback I've gotten has been so positive. Thank you so much. I had no idea you all really cared about what I had to say about this show. I had no idea. But it's been great. It's been great. And like I said, I'm still reviewing the original show. I'm going to review every single episode. I think I'm on episode 11 now of the original show. And then I'm going to go into season 2. So it's fun. I love doing it. Like I said, I'm not trying to get anything out of you, okay? I'm not trying to get money out of you, nothing. I'm just telling you what I think, you know? And it feels good to know that other people think the same way as me, you know? This is like a form of therapy for me. You know, I look at it like, when you see a show that you like, and the next day you go to work and you see one of your friends, you ask, hey, did you see the show too? And they're like, yeah, what did you think about this? Oh, this is what I thought, boom. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to do here. You know, I'm just trying to give you my point of view of what I saw, why I liked it, why I didn't like it, you know, and Shay's a piece of shit. And this show's a piece of shit, you know, and this thing is basically an abortion made of rainbows. And I fucking hate all these characters now. Well, I don't hate them, but I dislike them, okay? I hate Miranda. I don't dislike them. And I also want to apologize for what I said about Jen, the transsexual rabbi. She is a cool character. She is. She came across as nice and likable. She did, okay? But it's hard for me, you know, to respect someone, you know, with a penis that's standing inside, you know, the ladies' room. You know, I got a problem with that, okay? I couldn't see past that, all right? If that scene had taken place in the hallway outside of the bathroom, I would have had a lot more respect for the character, but it didn't. Okay, so like I said, they're trying to hit me over the head with a message, and that I did not appreciate it, and I took it out on the character. Okay, but nothing against transgender people in general. I don't care. I just don't think they belong in this show. Okay, at least not to the extent that they are in this show. Okay, like I said, this show is called And Just Like That. It's a spinoff of Sex and the City. It's not Orange is the New Black. It's not the L Word. It's not Queer as Folk. Okay, it's not, you know, Transmopolitan, whatever the hell that show was that had to deal with all, you know, Jeffrey Tambor was in drag, you know, before he got Me Too, all that kind of shit. That's not what this show was, okay? That's not what it was supposed to be, but that's what it became. That's what they turned it into, okay? No wonder we fucking hate it, okay? Anyway, so thank you for watching this show. I really appreciate all the comments, and this has been fun. And like I said, I'm still doing the original series, so I'm still posting videos on that one, all right? So until season 2, thank you very much for watching, all right? Y'all have a great one.